Wait, what happened to my thumbnail? Test. I gotta remember to stay close to the mic. I got this nice new mic stand. This is the exact same mic, but I got this like, it's a Samson Meteor mic, but Samson makes a stand that comes with a pop filter for like 20 bucks. And I realized if I'm gonna be talking to a camera, I need to have the mic closer to my face. It improves the sound so much. Test. Okay, yeah, we're good. We've got so much good stuff. So much good stuff today. I just pulled all this news out of my ass. I was like, I started writing one thing and then I realized I have so much to talk about. Because it's been a while since I've streamed. Last time I streamed was 12 days ago. And it always feels like not that much has happened, and then I start writing everything that's happened down and it like all comes back. It's like, damn. Oh, let me move this broom out of the way. Nika, come inside. Come on. Hopefully this doesn't come up as copyrighted. I don't think it should. It says royalty free, but I have had streams or videos flagged with so-called royalty free music before. I don't know what that's all about. Dude, these people are farming so many views. It's crazy. I wonder if they have I wonder if the business model is like they download a bunch of archive public domain music and then they just post these live streams and farm, 4,000 views. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee too. Let's make a nice art piece. Oh, I also wanted to see if my thumbnail is working now. I made a custom thumbnail for this stream, but I checked my stream and it didn't have it. Okay, yeah, it's working. Wait. Okay, this needs to be better. I'm so excited for Christmas. December is my favorite month by far. I feel like Christmas season is just the best season. Christmas is the best holiday, and it's like not even close. Just very cozy. Just feels like And I like that it's right at the end of the year, too. It feels appropriate. Alright, we're gonna extend this a little bit. Dude, I started drawing one of these that looked so much better earlier. I wish I just stuck with it. I was too lazy. Maybe I was like this. What if we make the background green? Perfect. This will be perfect for my purposes. Whoops. Let's see how that looks. Why is it like that? Tolerance 0. Okay, let's try this. Delete. Dude, why is it doing that? What the fuck? Anti-alias. Okay, wait. There we go. Cool. All right. Let's get started. Oh yeah, so this is the Sam Hyde. This is the official Sam merch. He re-released the shooter tee. So Doja Cat wore this on Instagram and like people were giving her shit for it. So the shirt itself got a lot of publicity. This is probably like the most iconic shirt that Sam Hyde has ever made. So he decided to capitalize on it right after that, and he re-released it. So I bought one. That was like, that must have been in like October, mid-October, and it showed up the other day. It's pretty cool. It's definitely it's a good quality shirt, but the comfort is not as good as like the shirts that I usually wear, which would be the Comfort Colors shirt. Comfort Colors, if you're looking for like the best blank t-shirts that exist, Comfort Colors. But apparently they can't hold very much ink, which is why, you know, with a shirt like this, you have to have like, you have to screen print like probably 12 different colors in a row. So they have to be able to hold a ton of ink like that. All right, let's see, what do we have here? So Reddit redesigned their logo. I guess it's not just their logo. It's also they just have a whole new like visual design language. Now I don't really like the direction that Reddit is going at all, but I think this new design is really nice. I think the font is like the font's all right, but the character is really nice. Let's see if we can get it. I should have had a link before. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so we have this redesign of this character, Snoo. So it looks like they're starting to move away from like flat design, which is really cool. You know, if you've noticed, like in the last few years, design has gotten really boring. Basically, like every company is just doing this like super corporate, like flat art style that has literally no personality whatsoever. But so this new Reddit logo is pretty cool. They have like a whole new 3D design for this guy. Jesus, that's loud. Okay, don't care, don't care. Just show the fucking guy. Here he is. Yeah, I think that's nice. It's pretty satisfying. But fuck Reddit. Reddit sucks. Yeah, and also the other thing that's weird about this is, I think I already said this, but the font. Just these like A's, like I don't know why they felt the need to give them these little speech bubbles, the A's and D's. Yeah, and I don't like how the E like cuts off here instead of at the end. Very weird. The E's are like too short. And the R, like look at the slant on the end of the R. So weird. But I hope we start to see more 3D design. And just anything with like depth and like more dimensions than just like flat squares and like Helvetica logos. I'm just so tired of every fucking company having like their name as just like a font or their logo as just a font with like the company name. Yeah, this is like way more interesting than like anything that's come out in the last few years. Anyways, enough rambling about design. Okay. So we're going to go over the dream stuff a little bit. I didn't pre-screen this at all. I was keeping track of it, like when it was all unfolding a couple weeks ago, when like the Gumball guy was posting about him and stuff. But I totally forgot. So we're gonna go over that a little bit. Okay, so unless there's been a development, it seems to me like there's not really any evidence of like what people are claiming about Dream. Can you close the door? Huh? I know, but I just don't want to be loud. Yeah, it seems like there's pretty much like no evidence. Like people keep accusing him of like being a pedophile and like grooming people. And as much as like everyone wants that to be true because it would be funny, it just kind of seems like there isn't really a reason to believe that as of yet. And it seems like everyone is basically just like people are letting this like lack of like evidence slide because they just like hate Dream. And it's like, yeah.
So what do you think? Who do you think is the video? Who made the video?
The video? No, I don't think the video is fake, but I don't think he was like grooming that person. You
Do
do
you
you
think she wasn't a minor or?
well, I don't know. I don't know the whole backstory to all of it. Like what so he was like just sending a video of him like moaning with is there any proof that he was like sending her like sexually like explicit stuff? Like that's weird.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, what was he
First of all,
sending her?
he's moaning like that's sexual in itself.
Well, yeah, but that's not like would you call that like grooming? Like he's like mo and also she was like 17 and he was like 19, right?
Mm-mm.
No?
I'm pretty sure this was recent, but
Well, from what I heard, like there's literally no proof that he like did anything.
I don't know. But I think the video is real. It's really whether you believe it's a minor or not, right?
I guess but so that person has not posted anything about like how old they were or whatever. Isn't that like a pretty
It's
important?
an anonymous person. That's
So it's an anonymous okay.
Mhm.
So I guess I need to do more research into that. But he's gonna make a detailed video with logs, screenshots, and evidence. Yeah. He may not have sexted anyone, but grooming is just messaging someone underage. So he's saying that like people originally were claiming that he like sexted them. And then it was like he like showed DMs or something, and then it turns out that like he wasn't actually sexting them.
Well, then what is that video of him moaning?
Well, I don't know. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Can you find like the info about it?
Like the original or what?
Well, I just want to hear like I want to hear like who that video is from. What do we know about them? What are they claiming? And like because so this is what keeps happening, right? Is like every like this feels like it happens very often is people claim that like Dream is like has like sexual misconduct and everyone's eyes are on it and they're all like kind of joining in on like the
I'm just looking on Reddit and it says that he referred to the clip of him moaning as revenge porn, and he said that he sent it to an adult. So he did claim that the clip is him. It is confirmed to be him.
But that's pretty funny that he's calling it revenge porn. Okay, so Dream says that wasn't a minor.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess so.
But the person who posted the video hasn't brought up any sort of proof.
Well, it was basically like the person wanted to remain anonymous.
Sure, but like, wouldn't they? If you were trying to make a strong case against someone, you would include all the proof that you could to like back up your claims. You wouldn't just say like, you wouldn't just post a video and say like, yeah, by the way, I was a minor. You know, like that doesn't make sense. Especially when he's claiming the opposite. Like
someone else posted the video for this girl.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I'm trying to find the original tweet.
But basically all I'm saying is like we haven't seen any hard proof yet, which is true. We haven't seen any proof of what people are like claiming, which is that he's like a pedophile and stuff.
Well, we haven't seen any proof that she's actually a minor, but he did send, at the very least, it's really funny that he sent a video of him moaning.
No, I agree. It's weird. It's very weird and like autistic to send a video of you moaning to someone. That's just like incredibly cringe. But that doesn't, on its own, that doesn't prove any sort of like misconduct. Now, like more evidence can come up that proves that that person was underage or that he was like actually like sexting with other underage people. And that would obviously like be proof. But as of now, it's like a whole lot of like extreme claims without anything backing them up. It's just vague claims, right?
Also,
if you actually look into it.
The caption was so fucking funny.
What was it?
Fuck yes, your tits are so nice. Fuck, I'm so close.
Oh
my lord, I just want to fill you up, princess.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Who fucking talks like that? God, if you guys ever sex someone like that, just don't. Just kill yourself instead.
I'm really looking for the original.
Yeah, so anyways. So this all came up after the gumball thing, right? So the gumball guy like started like trying to claim that Dream was like a creep or like a pedophile or something. And then Dream posts the video of him in the cab calling him an F slur and saying trigger warning, homophobia. But it's like really funny. It's really funny because you just know like Dream doesn't give a fuck. He's just posting it and like using it as ammunition. He's like doing it to spite the guy. That's what's really funny. Have you seen those old videos of Dream where like he's like really edgy and he makes like Hitler jokes?
Those are awesome.
Those are really funny. It's just fucking Dream's voice and he's like in Minecraft and he's like, yeah, Mein Kampf, Hitler. Jesus Christ.
Oh, so it was posted on I found it.
Okay, let's hear it.
I was informed none of these videos in the previous posted message contain any form of CSEM, but they have been sent to me under an anonymous source. I was given permission to post these. I can confirm without a shadow of a doubt that it was Dream Snapchat. I'll send you the tweet, but it's a burner Twitter account.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we know that, but like there's no, again, like nobody has brought forward at this point, nobody has brought forward any hard proof of like the claims that are being made. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the thing that we need to be confirmed is like who it was and if they were a minor at the time.
Exactly. Well, and that's what makes it a little bit sus that they're not clarifying because.
Well, I think they just don't want the. Dream's fans are insane. You know what I mean? Like it would be kind of scary to come forward with
Dream's
that.
fans are like against him now, aren't they?
No, I mean I'm sure that
He still has like a fan base, but it's not as like crazy as it was a couple.
I don't blame anyone for wanting to stay anonymous, but it does make the situation a lot more.
Sure, they could still anonymously share some sort of proof. Like they could share their ID with like fucking birth, their actual date of birth, like blacked out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
They could do all sorts of things to prove they could show their like their school ID. They could show like. Yeah, there's like a lot of ways that they could prove it, and so I honestly think they're actively choosing not to prove it.
I sent you the account.
Okay, on Discord. I just switched to my other Discord.
Wow, I didn't realize surprised he posted this so long ago. This burner account.
November 20th. Yeah. Oops.
And you can listen to the audio. It's really lovely and beautiful.
Oh, Jesus. Hello?
Well, no. It takes a while to get into it.
Okay. Jesus fuck.
It's kind of feminine, isn't it?
Oh, God, dude. Jesus Christ. Holy shit, dude. Wild. Yeah.
It's like, so weird.
Very weird. So yeah, that's about that for that topic. Hopefully more proof comes out if these people were actually like groomed or something. Hopefully they can bring forward some evidence. Because it would be really funny to see Dream actually get in trouble for something beyond a shadow of a doubt, but okay, so
oh my God, he ends off his like dirty talk with, so there's that. Look at
Jesus. Oh my God.
So there's that.
My hands around my dick looking at you. So there's that.
What?
That's like something Amber would say.
That's like, so it's very Reddit.
All right, so you guys remember that fousey was supposed to come back. And he is back. This is his first like social media presence in a while. But it is not, unfortunately, it's not a 24/7 live stream anymore. It's this post about G7 mindset giving out $17 million to 1,700 college students. So apparently he's claiming that his fans can apply to get $1,000 to go towards college from him and his little charity, I guess.
I'm so happy to announce that I'm giving away $1.7 million to 1,700 of you. That's right, that's $1,000 to 1,700 new college students. You may be on your way to college, you may be thinking about going to college, or you might not even know that you want to go to college, but now that you got a chance to get $1,000, you're on your way back. Why am I doing this? College and school has always been so important to me. My siblings all went to university.
His audio is so fucked up in this. I don't know what happened.
And when it was my turn at San Jose State University, I told my mom I wanted to start a YouTube channel and move to LA. She said she would give me her blessings as long as I graduated from college. So I did exactly so, and I'm so happy I did. Having that degree on my backside felt like a security blanket and gave me the courage and
The way he said that was so sus. Having a degree on my backside? Why the fuck would you say it like that?
That I needed to focus on my plan A. If I wanted to go back and work right now,
dude, look,
I can.
Look at this poster he has behind him, by the way. Success, nutrition facts, hustle, focus, persistence, discipline, failure, risks, patience.
Right now, I can. College does that for you. I'm serious, y'all. If you're thinking about going to college or you're on your way to college and you need a little extra funding, please take my money. This is set up for you to win. Go to g7scholarships.org, apply, tell us why you need the $1,000, and you could be $1,000 richer and on your way back to college.
So, this is kind of weird, right? A little bit weird. And Colossal explains why this is a little bit suspicious. I was too cheap to pay for X and up my character limit, but you should read this if you're thinking of applying for a G7 scholarship. fousey isn't giving you anything. He's attempting to get praise and credit for giving away $1.7 million that isn't actually his in the first place. This money actually belongs to a nonprofit called EduCapital. So not only is fousey not actually giving away anything, he is in fact most likely being paid to shill it. Other paid shills include OnlyFans whores like Bad Baby, and she's not even the only one. EduCapital looks a little sketchy, and not just because of the incredibly talented entrepreneurs they've managed to onboard. Their HQ is a glorified PO box less than 10 kilometers from the White House. Nobody from EduCapital works there. They call it a $1,000 scholarship, but it's a $1,000 coupon for specific courses at specific colleges that may or may not be receiving a commission on. And I guess Colossal's going to find that out. 1,000 may sound like a fair bit, but by the time you finish college and are 6 figures in debt, they've bought you pretty cheap. Or maybe it's just a means of obtaining your application data, since in order to apply for the scholarship, you will need to provide personal information. The last part is speculative. Nobody gives away 1.7 million without some ulterior motive. And if you're applying for a G7 scholarship, you need to be careful. Fousey is definitely not actually giving you anything, despite everything he said to the contrary. This is at the very least incredibly shady, if not an outright scam. So yeah, on closer inspection, it looks like this is actually just like a promotion for this third-party thing called EduCapital. So he's acting like it's him giving away this amount of money, but it's going to this weird fucking company that doesn't actually really exist. It's just a PO box.
I'm begging y'all.
So yeah, kind of weird, kind of sketchy. I don't know what happened to his kick deal, but maybe they pulled that. They realized he's insane and they decided to not give it to him because he's too unstable. So maybe he's just doing this for some extra money on the side, but either way, very interesting. So I'm really curious, like, does Bad Baby have her own like name for like he's calling it like G7 mindset. G7 mindset. Is she calling it something like that? Is she acting like it's a charity or something, or I don't know, very weird. Does she have a Twitter? I'm scared to go on her Twitter. It's gonna be some ass. Okay, let's see. Is this actually her? Oh, yeah, this definitely would not have been good to open on stream. Holy shit. I don't see anything about it. Bad Baby college. How's it? Scholarship fund for trade schools. Okay, here we go. She's partnered with EduCapital Foundation to create the BAD Scholarship Award. $1.7 million scholarship will help 1,000 students enroll in technical and trade schools. Okay, so it's literally the exact same numbers. So it's basically sounds like a big, like, a list that they need to fill up. They need 1,000 people to sign up for this shit. Very weird. It's interesting that they use the same numbers for everyone. Odd. It's probably like a quota, right? All right, let's see. So anyways, that's Fousey's return. I really hope that he starts streaming again soon. His streams were literally the best thing ever. They were awesome. It was just crazy, like 24/7, like insane people. And like what's funny about Fousey is like he puts out such insane energy that like he attracts insane things to himself. So like that woman that he ran into at the airport was like that was just a crazy event that went down there. And that just happened. Like that would only happen on his stream. Anyways, yeah. I'm very curious to see if his kick deal is reopened. Or if that's still a thing at all. Okay, so Max Mofo. Max Mofo got married recently. And he posted pictures from his wedding on Twitter. Let's see here. Wait, is this his real Twitter? Okay, yeah, it is. Wow, nobody's buying Twitter Blue. So he posted pictures from his wedding. It looks like a pretty small wedding. Maybe it's just this one picture. But he has some close friends here. If you look in the background. This is one of the people that works on Cold Ones. I think it's his like camera guy or something. This is Anything for Views. And over here we have Joji, Filthy Frank, who became a music artist, and he is now like a grade A celebrity. And it turns out that in order to be at this wedding, he had to schedule a tour around the wedding. So he planned to attend this wedding, and he didn't do one of his tour dates in order to attend his friend's wedding. Let's see. Where'd it go? I have too many tabs open. Hold on. Which fucking tab is it, dude? Okay, whatever. So yeah, what's really impressive about this is let's see if we can find Doji goes to Maximo Fo's wedding. Yeah, so he stopped his tour in order to go to his friend's wedding. Meanwhile, someone from this OG crew is missing from this wedding. Who could it be? Who could it be? Let's see. They even recreated this classic picture. One of these is not like the others. That's right. That's right. idubbbz is missing from his wedding. But why is idubbbz missing from his wedding? Let's find out. Where's the audio?
Yeah, I talked to Max about the wedding situation. When he was first fucking sending out invites, I was like really uncertain of how that was going to work out because I had some kind of important plans here in the States. So we went a month earlier to kind of, you know, give him and Kat our well wishes. That's why I was in Australia, and it's kind of also why we didn't do cold ones, is because he was ramping up for his wedding stuff.
Okay, so two things here. He was not actually in Australia, allegedly. He was not actually in Australia just to wish Max well wishes. He was in Australia, supposedly getting a tattoo himself. Okay, let's see. Gotta find it again. God damn it. Yeah. So these are DMs, or these are public messages from Anissa's Discord. Having food poisoning on a plane is hell. I woke up and ran to the bathroom and then looked at my phone, and Ian said, I think my IBS is triggered by stress. And I was like, uh-oh. I feel so bad. Ian's on a plane right now because he's getting a tattoo from someone that's out of town in Australia. Just a day trip. So he was in Australia getting a tattoo at the time that he was supposed to be congratulating Max. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did actually congratulate him. But it sounds like this trip was mainly to get the tattoo. Now, it turns out that the important plans that were in the way of going to Max Mofo's wedding were Anissa getting her tattoo as well. Anissa got this giant fucking back tattoo that covers her entire back. And it was literally on the days of when their wedding was. Let me find it. God, her Twitter is just cancer, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, so November 9th. Back piece is officially completed. Can I show this? Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, no, this isn't going to work. Hold on. I'll just show this one because it's a little bit less explicit. Okay, this is the before the shading and everything. So this is what she was getting done on November 9th and 10th when the wedding was. So apparently, yeah, apparently these are the important plans that were in the way of going to the wedding. And apparently the reason that people think that's what the plans were that got in the way was because idubbbz and Anissa uploaded another podcast that same week. So they had time to stream and they had time to film a podcast episode, but they didn't have time to travel to this wedding. So it seems to be the tattoo that is responsible for that. So it's kind of unfortunate. It's honestly pretty sad. I don't know if it was like necessarily idubbbz's fault. It might have been Anissa, but I feel like that's the sort of thing where like you reschedule your plans, because if you're close friends with someone and you're missing their wedding to do something like getting a tattoo, it's like the wedding can't ever be changed. The date of the wedding is never going to be changed. You're going to have missed out on that forever. But like getting a tattoo, you can just like reschedule it, even if there's like a fee. It's not like they're hurting for money anyways. Like that back tattoo is almost certainly paid for by idubbbz himself. Yeah, so Bungie says, what else could it possibly be? It's not so important that he can't do weekly uploads, podcast episodes, and streams, but it does mean they can't leave the country. The tattoo was being done in the same time frame, ergo it was probably the tattoo. Thank God I didn't scroll too far. Holy shit. So yeah, very, very weird, very unfortunate. But it seems like Max had a great wedding, and I'm glad that most of his friends could be there for the wedding. Feel kind of bad for that idubbbz couldn't make it, but I really wonder if Anissa's has something to do with it. Like she doesn't want him like associating with them for one reason or another. I don't know. That's just very weird to me that like either he or her would avoid going when it was totally possible that they could have gone. Just very strange. Oh yeah, so real quickly, this is just a little personal story with idubbbz. So I used to live in the town that idubbbz was from, and I actually encountered him. I ran into him during his peak. This was like 2017. So this was right after he had started dating Anissa, so he was still based. He was still cool. So my friends had run into him on a Sunday near the Chick-fil-A parking lot. He was trying to stop by and get Chick-fil-A, but it was Sunday and it was closed. My friend had a megaphone in his car. He had like what is that called? Like one of those radios where you can like the things that cops have where you say, step out of the vehicle. So he picked it up and he was like, idubbbz, idubbbz. Idubbbz like stared at him, was like, what the fuck? And then drove away. I wasn't there for that, okay? Then if he tells me that story and I'm like super jealous that he like saw idubbbz in real life. It's like, holy shit. So a few days later, and by the way, I worked at this Chick-fil-A. A few days later, idubbbz comes through the drive-thru while I'm outside. And his car passes by me and I see him, and my brain takes like 2 seconds to process what I just saw, because you have to understand at this time, this guy is like the coolest YouTuber. He is like the biggest cultural influence on the internet of anyone. And he's right there. He's right next to me. And so like once my brain registers it, I'm like, I say out loud, holy shit, it's Ian. And he's with Anissa at the time, and they both like laugh and like look at me, and I walk up to meet him. And it was like super surreal. And I was like, dude, your videos are so good. Thank you so much for making those videos. You're like the coolest YouTuber. And he like reaches out his hand and he shakes my hand. He's like, thanks, man. And then I didn't want to bother them at all, but I think I said something like dumb because I was like panicking. I was like, dude, I think my friends like followed you here the other day. Like they were like using the radio to yell at you. And they're like, they just kind of laughed and were like, okay. And then I was like, all right. And I walked away and let them take their order. And then like a few weeks later, Anissa brings it up on stream. So she talked about their interaction with me on stream, and they misunderstood like the story that I told them, and they were like, yeah, so like this kid told us that he was like following us around and like yelling at us from his car. Yeah. I'm very grateful that I got to meet idubbbz during his peak. It was really cool. He was really nice in real life. He was just like pretty outgoing and just like he could tell I was nervous, and he like reached out his hand to like let me shake his hand and stuff. So it was pretty cool. I wish we didn't lose him the way we did. I'm really sad we lost idubbbz. Hopefully he becomes based again one day. I feel like there's still potential, but I don't think people will ever like respect him as much as they did in 2016, 2017. Okay. Anyways, let's see. What do we have next? So I covered this on my stream before. This is a man, this story happened like 6 months ago now, and it just keeps there's just developments like every week. So Nick is Not Green is this like lefty commentary YouTuber, and he basically covered the super mega situation. I'm not going to go over the entire situation again, but essentially the reason that he covered the situation at the time was because he was friends with the victim. So he was friends with Lex Updog, and she asked him to cover the story, and he did. And he presented the information that she told him as fact without fact checking or like scrutinizing anything that she was saying. Well, now, after having already apologized in videos like 3 times, Nick is Not Green apologizes for the 4th time. He makes a tweet. Let's see. So I think the reason that he's apologizing so much is because he's like bleeding subs. People are unsubbing from him because he's not being perceived as trustworthy anymore. So he releases this long ass apology. And the problem is, I feel like you don't need to apologize this many times. It's not going to help you stop bleeding subs. Like, if you really feel bad about something, just make one apology. You don't need to be like, you're going to keep getting backlash no matter what. So there's no reason to just keep making these like apologies over and over again. But yeah, like it's pretty transparent that he's just doing this because he's getting so much backlash still. Well, to rub some salt in the wound, Lex Updog and another person who is associated with this story, Ethan Is Online, they both unfollow Nick, and Ethan Is Online removes Nick from his friends tab on his friends of the like on his Discord. I think his friends of the stream role on his Discord. So these 3 were like pretty good friends, and they all kind of collaborated together to perpetuate this story and to spread awareness about it or whatever. Well, now that the tables have turned against Nick Is Not Green, especially Lex Updog is joining in on kicking him while he's down. So Lex is liking all these tweets that are shitting on him. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So now that it's cool to like hate on him. Wait, where'd it go? Fuck. Hold on. Now that it's cool to hate on him, Lex is joining in on it. When he literally, so the funny part of this story is like he literally went to bat for her like super hard. Yeah, here we go. He went to bat for her super hard, and he put his reputation on the line for her. And how does she repay him? She repays him by shitting on him because it's cool to shit on him now. For the story that she perpetuated, the story that she wanted him to cover. Just ironic. She is a complete fucking sociopath, dude. These people are just so fucking weird. Yeah, so she's liking these tweets, shitting on his apology. So I guess it's safe to assume that they're not friends. They're not friends anymore. And Lex is literally the person that caused all of this in the first place. So I don't know, it's just insane, dude. I can't imagine backstabbing a friend like that. Like, that's just crazy. I don't know. You gotta back them up. Like, you gotta at least be grateful for the fact that like they tried to help you out at the very least. It's not like you can't criticize them, but it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. This story just like has been going on forever. And it feels like there's either a new Nick is not green apology or a new development in the story like every week. Okay, we're moving on to the Mama Max thing. Okay. So Mama Max, I had not heard of him before this. Oops. He is this YouTuber that makes these like cryptic vids. Oops. He makes these like cryptic, like really cringy videos that are like, apparently they're like a call to action against child exploitation. So he describes himself as like, as a filmmaker dedicated to empowering children. And he states a lot in his videos that his goal is to like highlight global child exploitation and bring attention to it so that people do something about it. So recently he releases this 5-hour interview with one of the survivors of this vampire cult. Okay, so there's this guy who's called Camden, and he looked for people. He basically was like a cult leader. He like looked for people that were into like supernatural stuff, and he basically used that to manipulate them. He told them that he was a vampire or a werewolf. He tried to tell them that leviathans were coming for them if they didn't do what he said, allegedly. And he just basically used supernatural things to try to control people. So allegedly there were like multiple victims, and they all have been working together with Mama Max to release the story. Some of the victims are apparently minors, and apparently there were repeated sexual assaults, there were rapes, there were pregnancies. I heard something about like he gave them like cinnamon and lemon to like train their bodies to have miscarriages. That's very weird. The interview's 5 hours. We can find it here and watch it. But basically, the backlash that he is getting is not for highlighting the story, but for the way that he promoted the story, essentially. So he makes a video calling out Critical for not responding to him. So he basically spams Critical on Discord, trying to get him to talk about the situation, to bring more attention to it. And Critical doesn't respond. So he makes this video that's like, Critical, influencers, you have a huge responsibility to do this. And he's also talking about like, well, you talked about Sniper Wolf and this is more important, so that means you need to cover it. Just putting a lot of pressure on him and like putting him on blast.
Means to be a content creator in the digital age.
Yeah, this is his style, by the way. Pretty funny.
And set new standards for the kind of content that gets attention and shapes conversations. This shift of evil.
So he has like this edgy, like cryptic kind of style.
Is for good men to do nothing.
And it almost comes across as like he's trying to like intimidate him or like tell him he needs to cover it, or else like all the responsibility is on him, or else these people aren't going to get the like they're not going to get the what do you call it, like the closure that they deserve or something. Yeah, so he's basically like, in this video, he's upset that Critical covers stories like the Sniper Wolf drama. The Sniper Wolf drama is the one that he uses in this video the most. So he's kind of trying to dictate what people should cover based on whether he deems it to be important or not. This rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, the way that he did this. And even Critical himself, he finally responded to it after a while because a lot of people in his chat were bringing it up. So this is his reaction to it.
Stop ignoring Mama Max. Yeah, so here, you want me to talk about it a little bit? That rubbed me the wrong way. We talked like a month ago about like what he was working on in his investigation. And then apparently when I had COVID, he messaged me a couple times and I never saw it. And now he's taken that as me ghosting him and ignoring his very important mission. And it really rubs me the wrong way. Instead of just he jumping to the most extreme possible explanation for me not seeing it, which is really fucking cringe.
Yeah, so apparently Critical had COVID, and Mama Max was like spamming him to try to get him to respond and post about this this whole scandal, right? But Critical wasn't on his Discord whatsoever because he was sick. And then Mama Max took that as him like ghosting him, which is why he called him out in this video. So it just creates this really weird, like, again, just like putting him on blast and like putting the pressure on him, like as if it's his responsibility to promote the story. Pretty interesting. So since then, there have been a few people that have been asking questions to Mama Max. A couple people called into his live stream. One of the most important pieces of information that we got was Colton asked if they were sending this info to the police. So Mama Max says, well, the police have been very useless for us. And but apparently they still did. By the way, all this stuff happened like 7 years ago. Apparently they did make a police report 3 years ago. One of the survivors apparently did a rape kit. But according to Mama Max and the people, if I'm remembering this correctly, the police ghosted them. They stopped helping them. So this sounds weird to a lot of people. Like, why would the police ghost you when they literally did a rape kit? So Colton reached out to the police department. And by the way, this is not definitive proof yet. There might be a lot of reasons for this not coming up with anything. One of them being he might have spelled the name wrong both times and they didn't search all the possible spellings. But Colton contacted the specific police department, and apparently the police department have no records of any cases related to this person, Camden Davis. And he clarifies in a response here. Where'd it go? I initially misspelled the name before sending them a correction, and they have no record of either. So this was the original. Camden with an E, Gerard with a J, Davis. And apparently it's supposed to be Camden with an E, Davis, and people are saying that Gerard is supposed to be a G. So we're still waiting to hear back from all the possible spellings and last name combinations and stuff to see if they have any record of this person. But as of right now, we don't have any proof from the police department that there was ever a case about this person. So yeah, this isn't proven yet. There's no definitive proof. Like I said, this is just a pending story. It's just interesting that this name doesn't come back with any results. Another thing about this situation is Mama Max has been advised by a lot of different people that the way that he covered this story was very confusing, and he should have highlighted more of the story itself instead of making it about putting people on blast, because a lot of people don't even understand what the story is, what the cult was about, and all that stuff. Nobody's watching the 5-hour interview. What he really needed to do, a lot of people are saying, is make an edited like 20-minute video about what happened, outlining the whole case and what they're going to do to help the survivors or whatever, instead of making these like vague posts, kind of like cryptic videos, basically putting, you know, people like Joe Rogan and Critical on blast. Yeah, anyways, we'll see how this story develops. I'm very curious about this whole cult thing. It's actually pretty interesting, but I don't know if I want to watch a 5-hour interview. I've seen parts of it. Let's see. Is it under Camden's channel? Or Spencer's channel? Yeah, right here. Yeah, so this is the original thing. It's not even on Mama Max's channel. It's on one of the victims' channels. So you have to look really hard to find this. You have to like click on this person's channel from the video description and find it there. I want to find the part where they were like talking about cinnamon. Yeah, here we go.
First times that, and that was among one of the first times that Camden forced me to induce a miscarriage via shit ton of cinnamon, vitamin C, and him beating me in the stomach.
God. And that worked?
Yes.
So it wasn't even stillbirth, you just...
Nope, it was just like within a month I had started having some symptoms and he was like, okay.
So odd. Does that even work? Cinnamon and vitamin C. Is that a real thing? And then just punching her pregnant belly to induce a miscarriage? That's insane. And then there's another part where they're talking about how like that he did that multiple times to like train her. He kept doing the same, yeah, right here.
He kept doing the same thing to force me to miscarry. The last time was when I lived with my foster parents. Like, at the end of my physical stay with him, okay, so the whole reason that he was inducing the miscarriages was he wanted to traffic me and wanted my body to automatically start rejecting pregnancies.
So I'm not a doctor, but I don't think that's how that works. I feel like if you do miscarriages with cinnamon and vitamin C a bunch of times and punching, I don't think that makes your body automatically start rejecting pregnancies. Now, I could be wrong. I have no idea. Pretty weird. So yeah. Anyways, this entire cult story is very interesting. Would like to hear more about it. Oh yeah, so for our final little story here. So apparently the completionist, I have never heard of this guy, okay? I don't know this guy. Oh shit, I didn't update my description. How do I pin this? Oh my god. Dude, the little thing is in the way. Okay, whatever. So this is the link to Carl Jobst's videos. I don't know anything about this drama, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of dive into it and see what it's all about. Carl Jobst makes really good videos. So I don't know if we're going to watch the entire thing. I'm just going to skip around and try to figure out what's happening. But if you want to watch the whole thing, check it out on his channel. There is also a part 2 that he uploaded. I already know that it's going to be good. All of his videos are great. So I am going to use the bathroom, though, so I'll be right back. There's a charity scam that's been going on since
No way, really?
Mhm.
You've probably seen some of his videos.
All right, we are back. All right, let's check it out. Let's find out what's going on. Yeah, so allegedly, they have a charity called the Open Hand Foundation, which since 2014, if I'm remembering that correctly, it has been like stealing donos. They haven't donated any money to the charities that they said they would. Let's find out.
Goes to the Open Hand Foundation, an organization that we started in honor of my mom, and all that money goes to dementia research. We don't touch any of it. We just work with the people who do need the money, and we help them do their thing.
This is Gerard Khalil, well known online as The Completionist. For more than a decade, his YouTube series where he completes games 100% has been very successful, and he has built a very large and respected brand. Gerard is very well liked within the gaming community, and I myself have been a fan of his YouTube content for many years. In 2018, Gerard helped create the Indieland Charity Marathon. This is where indie developers get to come together and showcase their games. It gave a spotlight to lesser-known developers, and it also raised money for a good cause. All of the money raised by Indieland goes to the Open Hand Foundation, a non-profit organization that helps support dementia research. The Open Hand Foundation was founded by Gerard and his family in 2003.
I'm going to check out his channel. I wonder if I've seen any of his videos. Let's see. So for a charity to have stolen money for 10 years, over 10 years, and get away with it is pretty crazy. Let's see. 10 years of charity, like, that is a ton of money. Hollow Knight Completionist, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey. No, I have not seen any of those. Those are some really good thumbnails, though, by the way. The thumbnail art is awesome. Yeah, I have not seen a single one of this guy's videos.
After Gerard's mother was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia. However, it didn't officially become a non-profit until 2014, after she unfortunately passed away. Indieland has been quite successful in raising money for charity. They generally raise over $100,000 per year, and according to their website, have raised over $600,000. The marathons do well, and often attract very...
Wait, so what is Indieland again?
Popular figures in the gaming realm, and even celebrities. From YouTube influencers to gaming developers and publishers, many parties actively get involved to help raise money. According to their website, the Open Hand Foundation supports the University of California, San Francisco, and in 2020, Gerard said that Open Hand was one of the UCSF's main support partners.
Currently working with the University of San Francisco, and we're kind of one of their main funding support partners going into all of this.
Beyond this, according to Gerard, Open Hand raises money for organizations all over the world.
My father, my brother, and I started a foundation called the Open Hand Foundation that raises money for dementia research and treatment for organizations all over the world.
However, the truth is that since its inception in 2014, the Open Hand Foundation has not contributed a single cent to any organization. For the past 10 years, they have raised over $600,000, and it's all just sitting in
Wait, is this Smosh guy? Is this Ian from Smosh?
Their bank account.
Am I retarded?
Despite Open Hand saying the money goes to help fund research and to dollars, and it's all just...
No, it's not. It's not him. It just vaguely looks like him.
Despite Open Hand
Jesus.
saying the money goes to help fund research, and despite the fact that everyone believes their money is going to a worthwhile cause, this is simply not the case. Because Open Hand is a non-profit, their tax filings are publicly available. Since 2014, their yearly filings have all shown the same behavior. For example, in 2022, they received $117,000 in contributions. They paid $11,000 in expenses, leaving them with $106,000 in excess revenue. This cash was then added to their existing stockpile of cash, which now totals $655,000. Every year since 2014, it's been the same. Money is received, some expenses are deducted, and the cash is just left in their account. Normally in these filings, a non-profit is supposed to state where their profit goes. Obviously, if a charity raises money, they are supposed to give it to an organization. However, this has never happened with the Open Hand Foundation. In 10 years of filings, they have not dispersed a single dollar to anyone. They have kept everything for themselves. This is obviously alarming. Their website clearly states they support...
Dude, how does no one figure this out in this long? Like, wouldn't people have thought to, like, vet the charity first? Like, don't they, isn't that part of the process? If you're working with, like, a university, they would, like, obviously they would want to vet, they would want to double check everything and, like, make sure that the money is actually getting, like, used correctly. That's so weird.
And they have a quote from David Kessler, the dean of the UCSF School of Medicine, thanking them for their gift. But the interesting thing about David Kessler is that he was fired as the dean of the UCSF School of Medicine in 2007, 7 years before OpenHand was even officially registered. I needed to find out what was happening, so I contacted OpenHand and asked them why they haven't made any contributions in the past 10 years. And this is the response I got, which was written by Jacques Khalil, Gerard's brother. They claimed that before their official registration as a foundation, they donated body parts for research. A strange claim that I don't believe can be true of a charity. That's likely referring to a private and personal...
This vigilant approach to selecting... So they're saying that they're still evaluating where to send the money. That's really weird.
...matter within their family and would have...
It was reinforced by a personal commitment to honor the memory of the individual for whom the foundation was created. But that doesn't protect you from, like, charity fraud, right? Just saying, like, oh, we're still looking to see... We're still deciding where to put our money. Like, that doesn't mean anything. If you're clearly, for 10 years, showing a pattern of just pocketing the money, that doesn't mean anything.
Nothing to do with OpenHand. They claim they made financial contributions to an institution that made insufficient progress. Essentially, OpenHand is claiming...
Dude, it really makes you think, how easy would it be to make a charity where, like, you don't steal all the money, but you steal, like, 30% of the money, and it looks like you're donating a huge amount of money to whatever. Charity fraud pro tip. Don't steal 100% of the money.
That because they made donations before they were registered in 2014, which we cannot confirm because it wasn't public at the time, this means that it is acceptable to not pass along any of the money the public has given them until they find someone they deem worthy. The obvious question arises. If they have been looking for a beneficiary since 2014, why has Gerard been claiming they support organizations across the world, including the UCSF and the Alzheimer's Association?
We are raising money for dementia research in honor of my late mom, trying to help folks who've been impacted by dementia.
Okay, so they're naming specific charities that they are claiming to donate to while at the same time not doing anything with the money, just leaving it in a big pile. Okay, hold on one second. I'll be right back. Switch. We're back.
Working with organizations like USF, FTT Association of America, Alzheimer's Association of America, and so many more.
Why is he claiming the money is actually given to people who know how to use it?
And all that money goes to dementia research. We don't touch any of it. We just work with the people who do need the money, and we help them do their thing.
Why is he claiming they are helping the victims?
The fact that he's like, he specifically like has to claim, he has to say like, yeah, we don't touch any of the money though. We just give it all away. Trust me. Trust me.
Even the families of people with dementia.
Like, how did that not raise any red flags?
Guys, welcome to Indieland. For those of you who don't know what we're doing, we're raising money for dementia research and prevention, helping victims who not only have dementia, but the families of those around them.
Why is OpenHand still claiming its support?
Wait, is he just describing himself? The families of those around them.
UCSF on its website. OpenHand
is he just saying like, yeah, we're helping out people who have lost family members due to dementia, but it's just them?
They have done nothing illegal, because if they had, they would have been caught by the IRS. However, I never mentioned legality in my original email. I'm not sure why they brought up the IRS, but this assumes the IRS is some kind of omnipresent being that immediately detects fraud the moment it happens and intervenes. This notion is simply untrue. Many crimes, especially fraud, go undetected, and unless you do something especially egregious on your filings, nothing will be flagged to the IRS. In saying that, however, these filings don't seem to be done properly, and they aren't even signed, which is definitely a legal requirement. But now that they brought it up, if the filings do show an accurate account of what happened, I do think this is illegal and would be considered charity fraud. Generally, taking money by dishonest means is considered fraud. You just can't tell people to give you money under a false pretense. And you can't wait 10 years until you're caught before doing something with it either. In this case, OpenHand lied for many years saying that it was funding organizations it wasn't, and it was using those lies in order to get money from the public. OpenHand finishes by saying they continue.
Okay, what I don't understand is why would you knowingly do this under, like, in the public spotlight? Like, not only is it a charity, it's a YouTuber's charity, so everyone knows who is doing it. Like, they all have this person to point to and get mad at. So I just don't understand. Like, if you were gonna do this, I feel like I'm giving so many charity fraud tips. I feel like you would just want to have your organization be anonymous and like separate from your personal name and stuff. I don't know. It's just very weird that okay, like for example, Trans Lifeline. They were a charity that was found to have been not spending the money the way that they said, and most of the money was going to the individuals that were associated with the charity and not the farm that the charity was supposed to be about.
No, wrong one. Trans Lifeline?
Oh no, I'm thinking of the tranche.
Yeah.
All
Trans
right.
Lifeline was like a...
Weren't some of the trans people from Trans Lifeline though? Or no?
No, they're different.
Okay, so
I think there might have been a little bit of overlap somehow, but...
yeah. So anyways, Trans Lifeline was just the supposed like suicide hotline one, right? But they actually never had anyone available on call. And was it the CEO that was taking all the money? It was like the one person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were like expensing like dinners and cars and stuff, and like just basically all their personal purchases they were saying were for the charity. But like my point is that is not as much in the public eye as a charity as a YouTuber is. A YouTuber has a lot of eyes on them all the time, especially one with 1 million subs. Like a lot of people know this guy and are now going to go to him and know that he's a fraud, you know, versus like if you set up a charity that's not tied to like your YouTube, or you have like your friend do it or something. I just don't get it.
Search for a partnership that meets their standards, and if I have any recommendations, they will consider it. I don't know why they're asking me for my input. OpenHand has already been lying for 10 years, saying that it's been going to the UCSF, the Alzheimer's Association, and other organizations across the world. Why not send it there? OpenHand has had 10 years to find somewhere to send the money to, and I'm sure there are plenty of acceptable organizations that would gladly welcome its contribution. Truthfully, I just don't buy their explanation. If they really were looking for someone to give it to, they would have been honest about that to the public. They wouldn't have lied and said they were giving it to someone they weren't. Why are they still doing fundraisers when they admit here, if you choose to believe them, they have no idea where that money will go? Why do they not ask the public where to send the money? It is their money, after all. People have been donating their hard-earned money for 10 years. They all believe their money is going to a good cause. People have been championing Indieland for years, declaring they are fighting dementia. Gaming developers, YouTube influencers, celebrities have all donated their time, money, and effort to this event, thinking it was doing something when it just wasn't. Sponsors have
getting a
invested money
tattoo
and
for
equipment into
this
a charity that
charity.
did nothing with the money. I responded to OpenHand hoping to get clarification on a few details, and asking if they thought it was appropriate to continue to ask for money when they aren't contributing any of it. They reiterated they believe their behavior was legal and ethical.
Dude, when someone is doing something wrong, they always use these like super general statements to describe what's happening. Like, he knows he's in trouble, so he's just saying, he's asking him a specific question, right? He's asking, why do you have UCSF listed as a benefactor if OpenHand does not contribute to them? And his response to this is, the Open Hand Foundation ensures all donors that funds are conserved with diligence and foresight. What? What does that mean? You're saying, like, well, we have said that we contribute to them, but we're actually just, like, telling them that we're holding their funds for them. That's so weird, and the way that he phrases this is so snaky.
Me taking issue with the fact they've lied for years and kept all of the money they have ever received is both unwarranted and unfounded. Clearly from these statements, OpenHand feels as though this is acceptable behavior from a charity. They closed by saying they do not intend to issue further public comments on these matters, confirming that from OpenHand.
Okay, so, I mean, I don't want to steal his whole video here, but let's check it out. Let's see.
These statements were from just several weeks ago. Gerard has also been a director of OpenHand since 2014, so it would take a lot to convince me he didn't know what was happening with the money he was raising.
Okay, so Yeah, that's insane, dude. I just don't. Oh man, it's just charity fraud is such a scummy thing. Like, and like to have your face be, you're the face of this charity, so obviously like all the blame is gonna get put on you. How did you not see this backfiring at some point? Like, I don't understand what these people are thinking. So he came out with another video yesterday.
Hello, you absolute legend. Open Hand Foundation have been radio silent since my video dropped. We have had no confirmation.
Yeah, I noticed that their social media, even like the completionist channel, his subreddit is all, they're not really, let's see. Well, I don't know if his subreddit is not talking about it. Let's see. Where is his subreddit? But I noticed I looked at their social media and there wasn't anything about it. Let's see. Okay, so at least they're not censoring the subreddit, looks like. Yeah, so Mudahar and Carl Jobst both reported on this story. They both, I guess, did the investigation.
The money still exists.
I want to find out what this update is about, though.
No confirmation it raises is that it seems to disappear. Fans of the completionist who rushed out to defend him tried to claim that because Gerard hadn't spent the money, it wasn't stolen. But in my opinion, this is misguided. Not only because this argument is not...
So people were saying that because he hadn't spent the money yet, it wasn't stolen? That doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if he hasn't spent the money yet. Hasn't he lied about where your funds are going? That's the whole point. Like, he could technically make things more right by giving the money to all the places that he said that he's donated to, but that still doesn't mean that he didn't lie about the whole thing and like trick people to get the money. That's the whole point.
Previous video, I didn't include a sponsor because this is a serious situation, and that was a hefty sacrifice given that I'm the sole breadwinner of my family. So it's not just my money I sacrificed, it's theirs as well. And I can't keep working on this without being sponsored, so I hope you guys don't mind. Now, legends, this video is sponsored by the military online game War Thunder. And when it comes to vehicle combat games, War Thunder is the most comprehensive ever made. Play more than 2,000 unique vehicles, including tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships in heart racing PvP battles. And each of these vehicles is finely crafted to be as realistic as possible, resulting in a highly...
Okay, I don't know if it's rude to skip his
War Thunder is
sponsor,
free to
but
play using my link.
use his fucking link for a sponsor. It's right here. Wait. Yeah. Click that.
But since 2003, the Khalil family has been hosting a yearly golf tournament called the PBD West Convenience Cup Challenge. PBD West is a business founded by Gerard's father, Charles Khalil, in 1992. Now, despite the Open Hand Foundation website saying it has been fundraising since 2003, there is no record of the Open Hand Foundation existing before 2014, when it was registered as a non-profit. If you look at photos from the golf tournament before this time, there is no mention of Open Hand. In contrast to 2015 onwards, where signage clearly states it's benefiting the Open Hand Foundation, earlier years simply showed that it was benefiting frontotemporal dementia. I assume they meant to say they were benefiting dementia research and not dementia itself, as that is quite a strange thing to say. No one can... 2014 to 2017, filings showed the Open Hand Foundation received between $30,000 to $60,000 per event. This is likely underreported, but we'll get to that later. For now, let's double the previous year. In theory, this should cause a drastic rise in the yearly revenue for the Open Hand Foundation, but mysteriously, revenue hardly raises at all in the 2019 in total. From this point on, they make no mention of this, which is strange. You would think a charity event would
never trust a bearded man.
State how much they raised after it had finished, and they did proudly do this for the first 2 years. But then, as soon as the tax filings became weird, we started hearing nothing. We can deduce how much money was raised, however. From 2020 onwards,
The longer the beard, the longer the lies.
Indieland fundraised through Tiltify, which shows the total donation amount. On top of this, all bits, subs, merchandise, and indie game sales were supposed to go to Open Hand too.
And that's why we're here today. Bits, donations, subs, buy the shirt, buy the coin, buy indie games, all that stuff. All of it is going to the benefit of helping others.
Jesus Christ.
Michael clarifies that with those other methods of raising money, all the bits, subs, and all of that extra revenue that Gerard promised us would go to Open Hand wasn't sent over either. Now in this video, I'm just focusing on the golf tournament, and I won't go into all of the ways the completionist and his family confidently say that something very criminal is happening with the Open Hand Foundation. We have the completionist and the Open Hand in order to limit the amount of backlash, but I think at this point, I've uncovered enough to confidently say that something very criminal is happening with the Open Hand Foundation. We have the completionist and the Open Hand website lying for years that the foundation has been supporting organizations when it has never supported a single organization the entire time it existed. We have more than 650.
Yeah, so that's still fraud. I mean,
that still hasn't been donated or accounted for. And we have hundreds of thousands of dollars from the golf tournament that has simply vanished into thin air. And this is why I think the completionist and the Open Hand Foundation have been completely silent. Anything they say at this point is probably going to be used against them, simply because...
Yeah, that's just so crazy to me that this stuff goes unchecked. Like, it's since 2014, so how has this charity been going on 9 years and, like, nobody has investigated this at all? This is all publicly accessible information. Like, you can go and double check, like, these claims that they're making themselves. And I feel like it's pretty safe to say that like everyone who, any like influencer that is runs a charity, like, or just any charity, you should be like vetting before you donate to them. You should make sure that like the money is kind of going generally where they say that it is.
They don't want
Yeah,
any more
that's just absurd. That
attention being drawn to this.
it really goes to show like people will donate money to anything that they think is for like a just cause. Like you could probably run a Twitch stream that just says like charity stream and like pull in like so much money from it and nobody would ever care. I mean, people wouldn't really scrutinize it that much. I mean, apparently, because nobody scrutinized this very much. People just donated tons of money to it.
They hope people at worst will think that Indieland raised some money and didn't donate it for a few years. They can live with that. What they don't want is people, especially the authorities, looking into the golf tournament and all of that sponsorship money. I've heard many people say this could just be negligence or ignorance or laziness, but I can assure you this is not the case. This fraudulent activity has been going on for at least 10 years, and it's not just Indieland. Both events were lying and saying they were contributing funds when they weren't. The Golf Cup was
very weird. I kind of want to go over the trans lifeline stuff. Dude, what is happening to my tabs? Okay, Jesus. Trans Lifeline. So this charity still exists. Maybe I'll just save that for tomorrow or another day. I'd really like to stream more often. I really do enjoy doing these streams, and I feel like I like getting the practice of talking to a camera and doing all that. Yeah, we'll go over the trans lifeline stuff another day, but it's very interesting. I forget all the details. I'll have to make a little document, do a little bit of research, and I can summarize it for you guys. In the meantime, I will keep working on my video. I had to recently switch all my video stuff from Sony Vegas to Premiere. And yes, I was using Vegas 14, which is probably part of the problem. But so it took a little while to transfer everything to Premiere. Premiere is like way better. I honestly should have just used Premiere from the start. I didn't really picture Vegas having so many problems. Like it has a really hard time reading certain types of encoding. And maybe just because it's so old, but like it either has trouble reading files or it has trouble writing to files. Like it's just very picky. So I switched to like MOV files on my OBS for a while. And then I found out that there's like a limit to how many MOV files or how many gigabytes of MOV files you can use in a project. So I had to re-export the entire project, switch back to MP4, and then my MP4s weren't getting detected because I was using hardware encoding with my AMD card. So very weird. So yeah, moral of the story is do not use Vegas. And even if you already know how to use it, it's much more worth it to just learn Premiere or even like DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, let's see. I don't even really want to announce like a timeline for my video, but I do hope that it can come out pretty soon. I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to finishing it every day. It's going pretty well. One of the biggest roadblocks is the lighting in my house. The lighting, like after like 3 p.m. starts getting really dark, so I can't film anymore after a certain time. All right, I guess that's all we have for today. Thank you for stopping by the stream and checking it out, and I will see you guys next time.